Hey, this is Chris with a Release Technique, and today let's talk about getting things done. This is such an important skill to really master because it applies to everything from those small little things that you have on your plate to your biggest goals and dreams. And how you do anything is how you do everything. So, for example, when you got like little things to do, and especially when you don't like doing them, and so you got resistance to it and you kind of dig your heels in and there's a lot of dissatisfaction and your mind wishes that, you were elsewhere or maybe someone else, should be doing this thing. But you got to do it anyway. So getting it done takes way longer than it should. Or you got a project that you got to complete. And you find yourself stuck. You don't know where to begin. Or you're trying to move forward, but you're just spinning your wheels. And this especially applies to your biggest dreams and goals in life. And you feel like, I don't know where to begin. I don't know the first step. It's something that's just way out there. I'd love to have an incredible, abundant lifestyle where I can do exactly what I want to do and live the life I want to live. But how do I get there? And so you can't even start. So you just end up putting that whole dream off on the shelf and it never gets done. So what does it take to really get things done and especially get them all done with ease, effortlessly? There's one obstacle that's in the way. And that obstacle is your mind. That mind, which unfortunately we all feel is our friend. We all feel like it's something that is incredibly valuable that we gotta rely upon. And it's not true. So what it is a very negative bag of noise, this mind. Examine it. I mean, what kind of a friend tells you that when things don't go your way, you should beat yourself up? Or when there's like a project that you have to do and you've agreed to do, but you don't want to do it. And so you resist and you procrastinate and and you beat yourself up the whole time because you don't like what you're doing. Where's all that negativity coming from? The mind. So the mind is like a big weight that's dragging us down. And what is the secret to getting everything done effortlessly? And you've tapped into the secret. You know what I'm talking about here because you've experienced this before when you just felt like you were in the zone, when things are just flowing, everything was harmonious. And it almost felt like totally actionless. You just witnessed everything just coming together, happening, and it was easy. And maybe you called it lucky, maybe you called it, like chance or serendipitous, or just being plugged in the zone. But what was going on? In those moments where things happened the most effortlessly, your mind was quiet. You got your mind out of the way. And what came through you was something that is infinitely more powerful. So what if you could just come from this place where you're in the zone all the time? So let's do this. It starts by really examining how helpful that mind is. Now think about a project. Maybe it's a project that you have now or a project that you've had in the past, because we've all have loads of these things in our past that we never got done. Whether they're big goals and dreams or just things that we took on and we could never get an answer for. And basically we failed at in our mind. So just think about something like this. And notice how you're trying to figure out what to do about it. How am I going to accomplish this? And notice how you're looking into your mind for an answer. And any time that you're stuck, guess what? That means you're looking in your mind, whether you realize it or not. And that's looking in an empty file cabinet that is literally empty, but you keep looking in it again and again and again. And no wonder you're stuck. Or notice that if there's something, even if you know the steps to take to do it, but maybe you don't like what it is that you're doing. You'd rather be doing something else, or you're just bored with it, or whatever the reason is. You got resistance to it and a bunch of mental noise, dissatisfaction. I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. This sucks. And you're having to do it anyway, but you're fighting through all this noise, and it just slows it down and makes the whole experience that much more miserable. And maybe you feel like, well, just giving up. Or I failed. And look at what you're doing in those situations. You're just letting your mind win. And notice the very first thing that your mind comes at you in this situation is, hey, beat yourself up. So again, what kind of a friend is this? So the secret to having a quiet mind and being in a quiet mind and being in the zone and getting things done, it's easy. It starts with a decision right now. I'm not asking my mind for anything. I'm not looking in that empty file cabinet. Even if it does seem like there's an answer, even if you have information in your mind, it's old information, may be useful for the past, but what is perfect right now in this moment can only come beyond the mind when you let it go. So right now, could you just let go of your mind? Just hand your mind over to beingness. And just hand your mind over to beingness even more. And even more. And experience what it's like right now to have a mind. What is the mind? It's just a sound in your head, noise. Now, could you let that noise go quiet? You can, because it's your mind, right? And no matter how noisy your mind may be right now, you're always bigger than it. And you can always just let it go quiet. So just get a picture of that noise right now. And allow that picture of noise right now to just evaporate and dissolve. And more. And even 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 more. And see if it's a little bit quieter now. See, that's proof you're the owner. You just imagine it evaporating and dissolving. It does. Because you're the boss. Now, can you just let the rest of it go quiet now? Just hand your mind over to beingness. And more. And more. And even more. And notice how you feel as you're doing this. See if you feel lighter, happier. Now, how cool is this? See, coming from this place, even if you have to do things that to your mind Yeah, I don't want to do that. That's in the mind. But when you get the mind quiet, you're just present. Doesn't matter what's going on. You're just happy right now. Doesn't matter what you're doing. So there's no noise of dissatisfaction that's distracting you, getting you in your way, detouring you. So then you want to procrastinate or, escape. And then you put off this project or you drag your heels and it takes 10 times as long to do as it should. So you just get nice and quiet and happy. It's fun no matter what you're doing. And whatever it is that you're doing right now in this state happens like that. Because you're positive. And it just flows. Now think about a big goal of yours. A goal where it just seems like it's something that's way out there. You don't know where to begin in order to really manifest it, have it for real. And can you see the urge to just run to the mind? Okay, what do I do? Maybe I need to do some sort of releasing process or meditation or, some whatever. There's all sorts of information and ideas that float out there. And our mind will love to grab onto this stuff and send us here, there, everywhere, spinning around. But we have all done that and seen where that has gotten us. Nowhere. Could you let go of your mind? Could you let go of wanting to figure out how to get this big goal of yours? And just let that mind go. Let it go quiet. And more. And even more. And just surrender to quiet right now. Now I know this is a common sound from the mind. When you take the consideration to move into quiet, the mind goes, well, no, you can't go into quiet. That's a waste of time. You're just going to sit around and do nothing. Let's take action. Let's figure this thing out. And therein goes into the wheel spinning. No. Just decide right now to drop that mind. And no matter what, just go into quiet now. Could you surrender to quiet? And surrender to quiet even more. And even more. And even more. And notice how much more joy and love comes up that you're just feeling naturally. And what you're doing now is you're tapping into the infinite you, the real you. And through that, the most amazing answers and solutions come through. So could you let this quiet take over? Could you surrender this whole goal over to quiet? Just allow quiet to provide an answer. And right now, let go of any expectation for an answer. If you have an expectation, that's, again, coming from the mind and trying to control it. So just hand it over to quiet. If something comes out of quiet, great. If it doesn't, great. Either way, when you're in quiet, you're happier, you're lighter, you're more at ease. And even if you have to do things, physically and go through all the motions to do it all, if you have to work at it, if you're doing it from a quiet mind, isn't that a much more pleasant experience? And wouldn't you get things done a lot faster when you don't have to fight through a bunch of noise in your mind? So could you allow quiet to take over? And could you surrender to quiet? And just notice something now. In this space of quiet, just look into quiet. And coming from quiet's point of view, you got all the time in the world. From quiet's point of view, there's no such thing as deadlines. Because in quiet's point of view, there's no future. There's no past. There's just now. 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 And the more you're in tune with now, which is synonymous with quiet, results happen immediately. So could you just allow it to happen through quiet and more? And just open up to quiet. Surrender to quiet. Let quiet take over. And just notice how you feel. See, the proof is where you're at right now. Do you feel more positive? Do you feel clear? More focused? Do you feel more like you could have? And where's that coming from? That's coming from your authentic you. So that's the answer. Drop your mind. Just be you. And we're going to show you exactly how to do this step by step in the Ultimate Time Mastery course. It's all about getting rid of these blocks that keep us stuck and keep us spinning our wheels. And dropping these habits of procrastination, of distraction, of escape. Because all of that is wanting to escape this present moment. But in this present moment, when you just surrender to it, you're going to find the greatest happiness and your greatest success. You're going to find results, no matter how big the results are that you're looking for. But I'm going to show you how to just do everything, manage your whole life from now, right now. This is how life is meant to be lived, in the flow, in the zone, in harmony. So join us. Take the ultimate step into total harmony. Click the link below and sign up. Sign up for this Ultimate Time Mastery course.